much again for joining me for this beautiful cardinal painting in the snow. We are starting with the material setup and then starting with a quick drawing and then start apply with the paint on it. So we are doing with acrylic. So we have some materials like different brands of acrylic paint. Some is a little bit more better quality, which is our artistic one, like this one. And some is like we have Amsterdam, Liquid Text, Artist Love, any kind of brand you have should be work good, but it depends. Sometimes this kind of material like this is actually a liquid text, and this artist loved the materials like the paint is more pigment has, so you can mix them all as well, doesn't matter. And we need the other things. We need the brushes, so I prefer to go with different size of brushes, but the canvas I'm going to work is not much big. It's 6 by 6 inches, so I don't need really huge brush for that. So I'm going to use this size of brush, filbert, and the smaller one for the details, and round and pointy one for more details if I need to add the cherries and the snow and more details on that. And I would mix my paint with palette knife, which is so lovely tools to mix my paint with. And the other things that we need is the surface that we are going to work. For this specific one, I'm doing the paint on top of this wood board. So it can be canvas, it can be wood, doesn't matter. This has really flat and smooth surface. You don't need to actually, for acrylic, we don't need to add just on top. If we work with oil, yes, but for acrylic, because it has glue inside and stick to the surface, so we are okay to jump on top of the canvas, on top of the wood. And we need the plate or palette paper to mix our paint on top. So I prefer to go with palette paper instead of plate sometimes, because it's easier to mix some different colors with that. But if you go with the limited palette, it's okay to go with the plate as well. But for acrylic, prefer to go with the surface that just one time use it and then put in a garbage because of the glue that I mentioned acrylic has. The other things is the glass of water, a rag or napkin to clean the surface. And that's it. So hope you enjoyed the process of the painting together. So follow me for the rest of the painting. Okay, so we have the paint around, and now I would start drawing the beautiful cardinal and then start painting the background. So For the cardinal, I am choosing just the red color. It's okay to start with the red. Even if you're comfortable to draw with the pencil, that would be okay. But I would show you in paint. So just start with the pointy brush and then choose the paint, which is red, and mixing with the alizarin crimson, which is a darker red. And then I would show that the not hold the page, but the focal point is the bird. So I choose this size. The top part of the head, and even a little bit, I can move it there toward the center, and the bottom of the body, and a tail. And the cardinal is look like an egg shape. So I try to imagine this egg shape, but anytime we can fix the shape of our actually our drawing, because it's just acrylic. They can cover on top of each other. It's fine. We don't need to be worried about the coverage of that. Just start the drawing. Make it accurate as much as you feel happy with your drawing. Sometimes a drop of water can make your paint a little bit more easily to move, especially with the details more. I would go just a big egg shape first. Just on the back, a little flat, but it's look like facing toward this way, not really straight. So for the head is like a triangle shape. So I try to add a little bit curvy triangle shape and then connect to body, and that's it. Then tail is start from this side of the body a little bit wider at the end, just a bit. Then you can connect these two sides together. Then we can imagine to cut in half our egg. That's the wing part. You can add some more details later. You can add the beak. You can add the details if you like more, or you can leave it like that and then color the rest of the background and then focus on cardinal. So that's it. I try to show that this big size of the cardinal. You don't have to make it really huge and big if you don't like it. You can make it smaller, or even I can make it smaller too. But I would go adding some branches because the cardinal show that it sit on top of the branch. Just mention about the line of the branch, something like that, and it's passed from top of the tail and then it go to the other side of the surface of canvas. That's it. And this color happen with the brown if you like, or black, doesn't matter which one. And then start adding some branches from the top part. We can leave it like this. We can add the sky color and then focus more on the details on top. I feel I would make a little bit shorter, shrink it. So anytime, as I mentioned, you can do that. But we can cover the sky color on top of it. So I would choose just this smaller line for the head. I cover this side with the sky color of the paint. So I just try to show you how you can do the same. You see, I make it shorter. So when I bring the background color, it shows that it's covered and starts from here. I just try to show you how you can fix the shape if you don't, if you like to fix it or make it shrink or a little larger. Anything, it can happen. Okay, now we are done with the drawing and we would like to add the background color for that. Now for the background color, I would go a little bit like a snowy day. So I would choose white color. I would choose a little feeling of yellow and yellow ochre to mention the creamy tone of the sky. And then that's ready. Clean the palette knife and again choose white. Still the light blue would be better to be lighter. That's a very, very light blue color. Like that. And then I would add a little bit more white to mix with the brown. Again, white to mix with dark brown, just a bit dark brown to give us another value of creamy tone. So the model we are going to work is from the photo. It's not a painting before. So we are transferring the photo to the painting, which is so cool. Okay, so I'm going to start apply with the larger size of brush, which is easier to cover, of course. And oops. And start with this creamy tone for the side of the canvas or any surface you work. This is actually wood, can be anything. Just apply and then move on with this color. All these colors are very light, so they're so close together, but still there is some line hard edge create in between. Then you can disappear. And if you see my brush stroke is not just cover flatly from top to bottom, it's just like this kind of tiny brush stroke like this, and try to make a little bit more heavy. It's beautiful to have a heavy texture on top. It's so cool. If you like, would be nice idea. And of course, for the texture, we need more paint to apply and more paint to make actually. So you can mix these two colors together and then close to body, make sure to be a little accurate. Cover the part of the you fix as a drawing. Even if you go through the body would be fine, don't worry about it. You can again come back and draw it. But I would go very thick and try to make it heavy paint on top, which is so cool. And don't worry about the amount of paint. We're almost done. We can again premix more. Even I can cover the branches would be okay. We can again bring them back. And I would go a little bit bluey application of the blue too. In between, you see, I just one or two brush stroke. It's nice to have a feeling of bluey color. You know what is important in painting? I would bring it closer and you can see all this heavy texture on top. And the reason I would show you is we are transferring the photo to the painting style, which is lovely. So painting is not same as photography. It doesn't need to be really accurate. I don't say accurate. It doesn't need to be really like a real style. If you don't like to follow exactly that technique, you can just make it impressionism style. You can make the texture for that. You can create like a modern style. You can do any kind of style that it's in your mind and you like it. For sure, you can make the beautiful and unique painting. So I make more of the texture. And clean the brush. Again, apply with heavy paint. Heavy paint is something this amount, which is a lot. I just try to cover the background. It's okay with heavy brush stroke. Sorry, I mean the background. I mean the branch. It's fine. At the same time, different colors. The reason I would go with the heavy style is very beautiful, you know. After it gets dry, you can feel the texture on it and it gives us a nice feeling of the painting. And it's good to have a little darker tone because we will add the snow on top. So even the side of that, I would go a little darker. I know we finished drawing of ornament, sorry, cardinal, but it's okay. You can just cover it, and again, the branch and the drawing can fix anytime. Just add a little bit darker around it. So, as much as I apply the paint you like, add it, because we would like to wait, get dry completely, and be ready for the next pass. I just try to check that I'm happy with it. And then let me just cover the beak as well. Okay. Yeah. It's happened something like that. Heavy brush stroke for our beautiful cardinal. And yeah, let it get dry completely. That's it. Okay. Now we don't need to actually completely wait to the background get ready for the next pass, because we can switch on cardinal, and then for during that time the background completely get dry, and then we can add more details on top of it later. So for the cardinal, which is reddish color, we have warm, darker reddish color, and then lighter. Lighter, you can make a little bit red mix with the yellow to reach a lighter tone, which is orangey. And it's for the chest, which is nice to add a little brighter red for that. And then for the back of the cardinal's body, which is a little bit warmer and darker, I mix two color of red and alizarin crimson. Okay, to give me a little darker color. Alizarin, just a tiny touch of black. Teeny tiny, because black is very strong, can make the value of the red a little darker than the things you would like to have. So these two color, and even you can use the color of the red and the yellow, sorry, the alizarin as well. So switch to smaller brush, this one, and then take a little bit lighter red. I would cover the head, which is, you can just cover it really flatly with this red color, would be fine. I'm not think about the details now. I just try to shape it easily with the red color, and even I'm not adding any texture so far for it. I can cover it and then add more details and texture later, because I would try to shape the bird first, which is easier to see everything. And even I can switch to pure red. continue to cover the tail. Okay. And then I would go to make a little bit top of the head, which is look like a triangle shape but curvy. And more details on it. The details can happen with the tip of brush. So that's it. Okay. And now I can again come back, take some heavy paint, which is like that. This is heavy paint. And I would make the feathers be more visible and come on top. So that happened like this. Put a lots of heavy texture and with the brush stroke, do some teeny tiny stroke close to each other. And you can see this help you make your feathers for birds. This is one technique. Or you can go like other technique. You don't have to always go with a thick paint to make the feathers. You can just go with the light and dark color in between and then make the feathers already be visible. So I just go like that. Even I can mix a little darker tone in between and make it more creative feathers shape. Heavy paint, even for tail, which is cool. For tail, you can back and forth with the dark color and light color because tail is more a little darker tone sometimes. But make sure not to lose the shape, not to come out of the background. It's better not make it really huge. Try to make it more teeny tiny. And then I've come a little lower here to shape it longer of tail and then not flatly close it. So then move on with the lighter tone again here on the chest and then switch to this darker color for the wing. The wing has more darkness in between. And I would follow with darker color to make it more look like the real bird. And I'm not worried because if I make it really dark, I can back again with the red color, the light tone I mean, bring in between. Sometimes it's easier to use the tip of brush to shape the feathers. And that's it. It's really cool, doesn't it? So again, reddish color. Bring some red color in between. And then for the top of the head, I go the other side like this to make it more long and feathery with the tip of brush, which is very cool. So even I can add some line in between the darker tone as well, like that. Just let me show you. Don't pay attention of this teeny tiny one. That's for the branch, so I will cover it later. But the bird is something look like that. It's an egg shape style and the triangle shape of the head and long for tail. So we can wait get dry or we can add on top with the pointy brush to shape the face. So for the face, I just clean the brush, take some black. I can just do a little bit details of the side of the face. Still heavy paint I'm going to add. And when you switch to heavy paint, make sure not to pressure your hand to the canvas, because with pressure you lift up the first paint that you already add on it. So gently add some dark color, or if you cannot do that, please completely wait everything get dry, and then you can add the dark color of black later on top. But I try to control my hand pressure not to go inside, and keep it like this. Okay, and I keep this teeny tiny triangle for the beak. Clean the black brush. Teeny tiny beak, I go with this mixture of orange and actually yellow and red to reach the orange. And this is one side of triangle, the other side is come out exactly from here. Nice and curve, teeny pointy like that. Sometimes it's challenging more when you work on a texture. So, and then this darker color come to separate the top of the beak from the bottom part, and that's it. So something like that. And still we need to add the eye, but I would wait for the rest of the details a little later. Okay, and then clean the brush. We have two ways to add the branches. We can start with the teeny tiny pointy brush to add the branch, or we can switch the large size of brush flatly and add with that. Sometimes it's challenging with those and this is easier, sometimes on the other way. So depend on your hand painting, which one is easier for you. But for this specific one, I'm not worried because I'm going to add a lots of snow on top. So it's okay even if the branch gets a little bit thicker, would be fine. So I choose from here, and with the tip of brush, I'm going to add a little bit watery brush stroke because I would add a little narrow and light. And then with very, very less pressure, try to control my hands, and doesn't need to be really flat because it's a it's a branch, can be moved up and down to be look like exactly the branch. And then here we make it a little thicker. Then bring it here. Connect it to this side. Okay. And if you like to make it really busy with teeny tiny branches, make a little watery and add more branch from the top to the connection of this, and add a little bit narrow line from here, this side, because we are going to add some cherries on it. Is it a cherries? It's not like a fruit. I forgot the name. Yeah, it's a cherries. And then you can divide this too, like that. And even from this side of the painting, start from here, from the top, use some, you see I try to make it broken line. Even when it's covered with the snow would be okay. And just the things which is so important is the photo was like a rectangular shape, if you pay attention to that. So it's a little longer from this side. So front of the bird has more space. I choose the rectangular shape. Sorry, the square shape, not the rectangular shape of the surface. So just would like to show, actually I had this one available for this workshop, so I use that one. But I would mention that you can go with any kind of surface that you have, any shape, even oval shape, circle shape, or rectangular, square shape, all are nice to add the painting on it and give you some more details for that. You can just pressure some on behind here and add a little bit of space around, or because that's a square shape, so most of the part is on a focal point, which is on this side, which is center more. But if you go with the rectangular shape, you can add a little bit space for that side. So I'm going like this. That's enough for the branch, I feel, which is fine. And I would go with a little bit shape of the cherries. And before that, my bird fit. I still have this black color, which is good for the fit as well. Same brush, because I don't want to leave my bird on top of the branch. I would go to show its stand on somewhere of the branch like that. And then here, so like this. And even I prefer to add more body for it. I just feel that it's something not feeling happy for me. I would add some more body. As I mentioned, always you can add some more details around. Like here. Okay. Now I feel more happy with it. Or maybe now I have this pointy brush. Let me just add a little details for the head as well. You know, always you can back and forth and see your painting. Do you like to add some more details or no? So that would be a great idea to always check your painting. That's it. Okay, now it's time for beautiful cherries. I have this alizarin crimson red, which is very warm red. I can mix a little bit, just a pure red as well in it, and make it look like the warm color for cherries. And I take the round pointy brush make it full of paint, and add the circly cherries around. I try to make it heavy as well. So just cover cherries everywhere you like. Just cover the branch with it. Here as well. Even pure red sometimes can come and help us to change the colors and different value, which is nice too. So many circles beside each other give us a nice feeling of cherries. Even you can switch with light and dark color, it's okay. You can have one here or the cover of more cherries somewhere, like anyway, as much as you like, you can add on it. Like that. I try to cover more branch with this beautiful cherries. Even I can do some here. Because I work my painting with the texture, I have to follow the same for everything. If I go with texture for background, for bird, for branches, so I have to follow the same for cherries as well. You cannot go one very heavy, the other very smooth and flat. Really depend on the technique you work. So feel free, if you go very heavy, do the same for cherries as well. But same as my birds, I try to go with red and alizarin crimson both at the same time. One of them darker, one of them a little bit lighter. For sure it gets a little time to dry because of this heavy paint, but it's okay. We don't need to touch it right away. Okay, I feel I like it. Just one more here and one more alizarin crimson. Choose for here. Yeah, we are done with cherries, I think. Okay, now we are done with the cherries and the cardinal. It's time for adding the snow, snowflake and snow on top. So I have the pure white color for snow, and I would mix a little creamy tone, sometimes just a brownie tone as well, to make the snow warm. Maybe a teeny tiny touch of light blue, give it a nice effect, but not much because I don't want to go very pure white color sometimes. It's nice to go, but not always. So I take this creamy tone, try to add on top of the branch. Or maybe it can mix with the pure white color too. You can just randomly add some heavy like this on top of the branch. And even it can cover some part of the brownie color of branch as well. But make sure again the snow be a little bit heavy too. And on top of the cherries, I would show you how you can add teeny tiny details on top of the cherries as well. Not to cover it everywhere, but it shows that has snow on top. Top of the branch, try to not really liney. You need to be just a little like a real snow on top. You don't need to be really liney. It's on top of that, make some part narrow, some part really heavy. Like this. Even I make a little thickness on some part. From this way, you can just use it to make the branch narrow if your branch is really thick, which is good idea to make the branch thick, narrow, like that. Just give me a moment to bring it here. We need to add more white color. But because the red color is still wet, even sometimes they mix with the cherries that we already have. So I would go a little thicker than that and doesn't let the cherries reddish color cover my brush like this. So for the top of this as well, cover the snow. Some part of the snow can be narrow, less or more, I mean. Or you can wait everything get dry and then add the snow on top. Just randomly. Come to the branch and come out of the branch, which is so cool for the snow. I try not to cover all this reddish beautiful color of the cherries, but as much as I can, I try to add a little details on it. And even for here, you can choose one side of your branch be covered with the snow, not both sides. Make sure of that. Okay. So that's the snowy branch. And then the other things that we can have, snowflake. So for the snowflake, we can just go with the teeny tiny tip of brush and add some more circle here to be visible, which is a little bit thick. Randomly add or make a watery brush, very watery. That's not clean way actually. And do some here. Even can sit on top of your birdie too. As much as water you can add on top. But make sure after that you have to clean everything because it makes dirty. Sometimes I prefer the first. Oops. You see here. Make dirty everywhere. Oopsie. You can mix both way for the snowflake. You can, oopsie, do like that. Oh, I make this really heavy. I clean it with my finger. Okay, but mix of both is beautiful. Just a little bit circle, clean way. Or because the snow is like that, it's not really narrow. Sometimes it's really thick and visible. Sometimes it's really teeny tiny. So you can mix both of them for that. And even it's nice to have our cardinal be covered with the snow, and this is the eye. I just add the white color for the eye, and I would go with a little bit circly with the black too, sorry. I don't want to make it really just white, it's so scary. A little black, come inside. Okay, the white is good for the shine to show. Yep. This is our beautiful card, So hope you enjoy it. And we transfer the photo in a beautiful painting, which is so cool. And hope you like it and enjoy this painting process. So enjoyable holiday time and winter with this cute painting. So hope to see you again for the next painting. Thanks.